Hey y'all, I'm Alicia the Southern Ladybug. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm here to talk about my cross stitch. I have a lot of stuff to talk about today. Been to a couple of retreats. Well, I guess just one since I talked to y'all last. I've got a few finishes, got some things that I worked on at retreats, and a little bit of haul, and even a crochet thing to talk about. And maybe you'll get to meet our new addition. We got a new puppy, and maybe she'll pop in and say hi. She is super sweet, but she is crazy. We haven't had a puppy in the house for a really long time, so we've been adjusting. We've had to puppy proof everything, but she's a Great Dane. So Great Dane puppy proofing is a whole different story and a whole new level of puppy proofing. Literally, we've got to go higher. She can get to things that most puppies can't get to, and we keep finding things that we thought were safe. Not so much. So we've been constantly every day coming home and finding a new area of destruction. It hadn't been too bad. She hadn't really completely destroyed anything. Well, she did destroy Mike's CPAP mask, and he had to order a new one. But other than that, she hasn't completely destroyed anything. So we're doing pretty good, we think. I'll talk about her later if she pops in. But she and Sam have learned to love each other. Sam's somewhat accepted her. She's kind of forced her love on him, so he's doing okay with it. He kind of starts to play a little bit, and I think he's okay. So, what have we been doing? We have gone to a retreat. I think I talked to y'all. I went to Huntsville in January, and then February, beginning of February, we went down to Orange Beach, all the sisters and me. We went to the Katrina Boyd's retreat. Her retreats are amazing. You need to look her up. And we had a great time. Saw some old friends that we see there every year. It's so much fun to go to these same retreats and see the same group of people at each retreat and catch up with everybody. Met some new friends, and it was a good time. That's my favorite retreat. It's right there on the beach. Our meeting room has a huge open window that we can look out. It's great lighting and look right out to the beach all day long while we stitch. It's amazing. I always get up early before everybody else does and go walk the beach for a little while and see if there's any cool shells or any other sea life that's washed up. Saw a jellyfish. One year I found the neatest. There was a ton of little tiny sand dollars all over the place. I picked up a bunch of them, and that was really cool. Whole, intact, perfect sand dollars. So those were neat. I didn't do anything with them. I just have them in a cup sitting somewhere. I picked up a few more little tiny shells this time, and I've got an idea I want to try with some epoxy resin stuff and see what I can do. More to come on that. I haven't gotten to that. I haven't been very crafty lately. All I've wanted to do is just come home and cross stitch, but I haven't had a lot of time for that either. Grace is a special needs puppy, somewhat, and that's taken up a lot of time, extra time, in the mornings and the evenings at feeding time. So I haven't had a ton of extra time to stitch, but I get a couple hours in every night and have made some pretty good progress. So I'm pleased. Let me show you what I've been doing. I'll talk about my haul later. Let me show you what I finished. Why not? So at the retreat, I took several things. Jennifer and them always they take a bunch of projects and do a rotation. They switch every hour on the hour and work on something different. I don't do that. I take a few projects because I don't know what I'll feel like. Still mainly just work on one thing, but I do take a few projects and get a few stitches on if I get bored stitching on something. But I did finish one thing. This was a Mania start back in May. I didn't write my little thing. Okay, anyway. Hands-on design, Scary Apothecary Bat Balm. I started it for Mania and had only gotten like this top little bit done is all I got done. And I worked on this and decided, I need to get these done. So I took this and finished it. This is on some random silk weaver solo that I had in my stash. It's purple. It's kind of a dark purple. It's real pretty. And I have just enough to get all 9 of them on here. It's going to be tight, but I don't need a whole lot. After I got this done, I probably need to remeasure. I'll probably have plenty of space, but I don't need a whole lot of extra on each side to finish. So, because, I don't need hardly anything because they're finished right up to the very edge of it. So I probably even have too much there. I need to remeasure and make sure that I do have enough and how much extra space I need between them and where to start the next one. But that turned out really cute. And she's got the scary sparkle in there, a little bit of Krynic. And I just used random threads that I had. I don't even know what I used. I'm not even sure. I guess I wrote it down somewhere, but got that one done. And it was super fast. I did that in a day. I finished it up in a day's worth of stitching and probably stitched on a couple of other things too that day, but I really kind of concentrated on this. This was a long retreat. We got there Friday afternoon. We couldn't get in the room until 3 o'clock. So we, it usually is all day Friday, but there was another event going on. So 3 o'clock Friday it started, all day Saturday, all day Sunday, and then we stayed half a day Monday. Sharon left Sunday. She had to work on Monday, but the rest of us were off, and we stayed about half a day till lunch on Monday and came on home. So we had a lot of stitching time, and it was awesome. But this went really fast, and I decided maybe I'll do one a month and actually get them done this year because we've got market coming up and there's going to be all kinds of new stuff. And if y'all haven't seen her market releases, she's got a Secret Santa that is this type of ornament kind of thing, and it's super cute. So I'm sure I'll have to do those too. So I need to get these done so I can start on those because I don't have anything else to stitch. But that went really fast. They go really fast. So if y'all haven't started these are fun. Stitch with me. I already showed this. I finished it last time, but I finally got it framed and got my frame in, got it stretched and everything. And she's beautiful. It's this ladybug, Norah Corbett. This is on .32 count, Silk Weaver Solo, Opalescent Lugana, something from a stash. I couldn't find anything I liked at Hobby Lobby or Michael's. I really wasn't sure what color I needed to go with. I was thinking just black, but then I thought, well, maybe a silver. So I ended up going to our local frame shop and Neblets and had him pick me something out, and it's amazing. I just get the frame there and then I frame it myself. I haven't put the backing on it. I've just recently started lacing. This is the second piece I've done. I ended up lacing I've never done it before. I've been kind of scared of it. I don't know why. Just thought, well, I don't need to do that. I've always pinned it and it turned out fine. But when I was framing my Mill Hill Christmas Village, I was having a really hard time keeping that thing centered because it was so long. It was long and skinny. And I was having a real hard time keeping it where it needed to be. So I thought, well, maybe if I laced it on the back, just, one direction, that'll kind of help hold it. And then I can move it as a whole a little bit easier instead of this side going up and this side going down. And it was a mess. And it really did help a lot. And so my mojo was just off the day I did this one, and I was having trouble doing it too. So I ended up lacing it one direction, and that helped me hold it on. And then I pinned it around all the edges. And then I just decided, well, I'll just lace the other side too, just to help hold it on there. And it turned out beautifully. How about that? Isn't that pretty? Looks like she's in the sky. Kind of looks like clouds. So I finally got that framed. I'll get the backing put on it one day. My other finish, I started this at the Huntsville retreat, but I worked on it quite a bit at Orange Beach and got a good portion of it done and then finished it up like the next week here. I worked on it here at home quite a bit. So these are my 2 new starts for the year and 2 new finishes for the year. I had no business starting anything else. Crazy. Miss Honeybee, Norah Corbett. Isn't she gorgeous? Look at that. She is on a 28 count Austrias opal linen by Under the Sea Fabrics. The color is Austrias. And it is gorgeous and it is sparkly. Look at the sparkles. And what I did not realize when I saw the pattern, I loved it anyway. I had to have it. That's what the model looks like. Very brown. I almost always don't like her fabric that she has the model stitched on. I don't know why, but it's gorgeous. But I did not realize, I could see the beads and she's pretty, but all of this copper color is Krynic. Ah! And look at all those, her beads and her headdress. Isn't that pretty? This black around her cuffs and her collar and her muff, and then it's edged here is with Whisper. Rainbow Gallery, Whisper. You really can't tell. I kind of like it up here around her collar, and a little bit you can kind of tell around her wrists, but otherwise I don't think it adds a whole lot, especially down here. You can't even see it. I hadn't decided if I like Whisper or not. I like the idea of it, but it's not as fuzzy. It doesn't come out near as fuzzy as you would think it should. The only other time I've used the Whisper is with my reindeer. All their tails are Whisper. And it's a fuzzy, very, very fuzzy thread. If you use that, you have to, just FYI, you have to use very small lengths of it. Otherwise, it loses its fuzziness and then it's useless. But there's a little bit of Krynic in her wing here, and then lots of beads in Krynic. Beads everywhere. She's gorgeous. Look at her. And of course I had to do it on a sparkly fabric, because why not? And it's Under the Sea. If y'all haven't tried Under the Sea fabrics, they are amazing. Leslie's fabrics are just simply amazing. They stitch nice. They feel nice in your hand. Even the smaller counts are easy to stitch with. I don't know. They're my favorite. I went and bought a frame for it today. I had a hard time finding something today too. Sent my trusty friends Jennifer and Bridget a message with a couple of pictures saying which one you like, and they said I like the black one. So that's what I was thinking. But then I found a couple of kind of coppery colored ones at Michael's and said, what do you think about that? And they were like, no, like the black. It's like, okay. I didn't find anything at Michael's, went to Hobby Lobby and got this. And then I had them cut me a piece of 8x10 foam core and go ahead and put the hanging hardware on there for me. That piece of foam core was $2.50. 50 cents for the hardware. Yes, please. Do it. So I will get her stretched today and framed up. And then they will go on the wall here by Miss Tiger Lily. I'm going to have a whole wall of fairies, I guess. Some of them just I love, and some of them are like, oh, that's pretty, but don't want to stitch it. I think they're all pretty. It's kind of like the mermaids. I really think the mermaids are gorgeous, but I have no desire to stitch one. But I love watching everybody else's mermaids come alive, and the fabrics that they're putting them on are just gorgeous. Again, Under the Sea Fabrics has beautiful mermaid fabric. So that's all my finishes. That's pretty good, huh? I had one crochet finish I'll show y'all. I just have been in the mood. Y'all know I haven't made any Cuddle Buddies lately, but I have a good bit of that yarn that I was using for them, but I wanted to do some other different things. The same lady that does the Cuddle Buddy patterns accessorized this designs. She's on Etsy. She's got Facebook and Instagram. Y'all check her out. She's got some really cute stuff. She also came out with these loveys, just little tiny blankety kind of things for babies to love on. And so I've been wanting to make some of those and use up some of the yarn and get it out of my life because it takes up a lot of space. And so I finally got some of those out and got going with them. And I made a flamingo. I made a duck a while back. I don't know if I showed y'all that. It was kind of for a crochet along. And then a girl at work wanted that. She had mentioned that she wanted the duck before when I had shared the patterns on Facebook. And so I went ahead and did the duck for that stitch along or crochet along and to see if she wanted it. And she did. But I don't remember if I showed y'all that. He was cute, mallard duck. So I made the flamingo. He's not stuffed. The only part that's stuffed is the head and his beak. But otherwise, he's just a softie. Super cute. Look at those little legs. They got little knots tied in them. And the little arms. And look at his little tail. Little tail feathers. Isn't that cute? Little sleeping buddy. I haven't listed him yet. If anybody's interested and wants him, leave me a message and I'll get with you and we'll talk about how we can do all that. But super cute and so soft. I love that yarn. It's Premier Parfait. It's kind of a chenille kind of yarn. Lovely. Just lovely. Super easy to stitch with too. Even if you've never made the animals and dolls and stuff, that stuff is super easy to work with. It just glides. Your hook just glides through it. Ooh, speaking of hooks. Oh, did I show this already? Maybe I showed this last time. Anyway, I signed up for the dang Mystery Hook of the Month Club again with Chloe Rebecca Boutique. I've talked about her lots of times. She's changed her name. She's now Clay and Fiber Company, and she's on Etsy, and she's got Facebook and Instagram pages as well, so y'all can look her up. She's got super cute stuff. But I just cannot resist her Hook of the Month, Mystery Hook of the Month. They are her best stuff, and I just love it. I have a hook in every size. I do not need any more. But, a while back I decided I like the Susan Bates instead of the Boyle hooks. So maybe I need a whole nother set of Susan Bates. Don't judge me. This was the February hook. Lovebirds. How cute is that? It's a big old hook. It's an L. But that's the tip. That's the Susan Bates hook. These are very comfortable to stitch with. Very comfortable to stitch with. I've got my window open and I keep catching stuff out of my eye. Today is a beautiful day. If y'all haven't been out today, get outside. It's gorgeous here in South Mississippi. Finally a little warm. We have some sunshine. It's been raining a lot. It's dried out enough just for everybody to start working in their yard and start burning stuff. That's why I'm doing this video today. I had an opportunity. My husband actually got called to go to a fire down south of us. He's not even on call this weekend. That's how busy they are. There was a huge fire down in Pearl River County. I believe it was arson. It looks like hundreds of acres. They've been fighting all night long. I don't know if it's done yet or not, but the guy that was on call in our region, our area, had to go do that. So that left our area uncovered. Therefore, Mike had to go do something today. So no big deal. Y'all just be careful. Don't burn. That's my hook. Put him back up. The one other crafty thing I did do is I approached Katrina a while back and asked her if she would be interested in a needle minder for her goodie bag. She always does an awesome goodie bag at Orange Beach, and she said yes, that would be wonderful. So I made these little bottle cap needle minders and put in everybody's goodie bags, and they were a big hit. They are super simple, but very Ray Dunn inspired. Just says Stitch. I thought they were really cool. Everybody liked them. These will be up in my shop. I wanted to wait until I went to the retreat before I listed these, but I'll be putting those in my shop soon. Really strong magnets. They'll hold your scissors even. That's the only thing I use mine for. I have a magnet board that I stick my pattern on, and I use one of these for my scissors that Jennifer gave me years ago. And I have another kind of magnet that I stick my needle on. Neither here nor there, but that's going to be it. I thought they were cute. Everybody's all into Ray Dunn and everything, so thought I'd get on board with that. The other few things that I worked on at the retreat, I put just a few stitches in a few other things, not a lot. I really concentrated on Miss Honeybee because I just enjoyed stitching on her so much. She had all these big chunks of color, and she was easy to stitch and really went pretty fast. The bottom of her dress, I got the whole bottom of her whole dress done, except for the whisper because I forgot to pull that out. I had it for another project, and I just didn't pull it out and take it with me, but that's what I worked on mostly, and then finished that Scary Apothecary thing. So the other thing that I worked on, I actually restarted something and just got just a few stitches in, not a ton. I had started this back in Mania as well, Glendon Place Eggs All Around. This thing is 13 inches round. Lots of Krynic, lots of beads. It's gorgeous. But I had started it for Mania. Didn't get a ton done. Just a few stitches in. But I did it on this white fabric that I already had because the picture looks like it's on white fabric. So I thought, okay, that'll make everything pop. It'll be beautiful. The called for fabric is 28 count chrysalis by Picture This Plus. I didn't know what that was. I don't know what color that is. Didn't look it up. Didn't want to order anything if I had something. It looks white, so I picked it white. Well, we stopped at Cross Stitch Peddler in Decatur, Alabama, on the way to a retreat last year sometime, whenever we went up to Franklin. And I had taken all this with me because I wanted to find a green, variegated green for all these leaves. Jennifer had brought me whatever's called for Spring Grass by Gentle Art, and it wasn't very variegated at all. And there is a ton of variegation in the picture anyway. And what she had just wasn't very variegated. And I was like, oh, man, well, don't order anything else. It's no big deal. I'll find something. And so when we went to the retreat, we stopped there like we always do. And I was looking for some thread, and I found some. I'm sure I showed y'all this before, but I ended up getting Granny Smith by Classic Colorworks. It's really pretty. It's silk. It's silk. Love stitching with silk though. Oh, it stitches so nice. Anyway, So I picked that out, and I was talking to Marlene, the shop owner, about it and showing her what I was doing. And she's like, "Oh, what are you stitching it on?" I was like, "This, and it looks like the picture." And she said, that's not what's called for. It's a pretty green." And she showed me the DMC equivalent of that. And I was like, "Oh, well, that's real pretty. Do you have that?" She said, "No." Fine. So I ordered it back when I was trying to find the fabric for my chatelaine. Yeah, I ordered this the same time I ordered my fabric for my chatelaine. And it is pretty. You can't see. It's just a real light minty green color. You can kind of tell. And this is all I got done. So, but I restarted it. So I did the middle and tried to jump over to an egg and get some of that done. That's all I got done. But it was fun. I don't like, it's tedious because it's a lot of color changes and a lot of different colors and just a few stitches. You can't get a big block going, but it's going to be gorgeous and I don't care. I'm going to do it anyway. I worked a little bit on ink circles, Life, Liberty, and the Pursuit of Squirrels. At Huntsville, I'd come over and gotten the rest of this word done so I could see just how close to the edge I was. And I am very close to the edge. Very close. But that's okay. That variegated thread is gorgeous on this. It's Valdani. And so I worked on this stuff right here is all I got done. Look at those cute little squirrels right there. I think I already had that dog done. But I did those squirrels and a few other things that I could get to. They're funny. I love this so much. This is on 36 count Tiramisu by Under the Sea Fabrics. And again, that tiny count is very easy for me to see and stitch. I'm not having any issues with it at all. I think I did work on this a little bit at the retreat at Orange Beach. I did. I finished the house. Faith. This is the Sunbirds Garden series by Cottage Garden Samplings. This is Have Faith. This was a Mania start as well. I didn't get very much done, but this time I finished the house. And then I was watching somebody's video and they talked about a stitch along that Cobweb Corner is hosting for the Songbird series. So I was like, ooh, I'll jump in on that. And that'll be a good excuse to work on this because I've been wanting to do these. I've finally got them all and I'm in love with all of them. It was really hard to decide which one I wanted to do first. But I just love that blue jay. He's so pretty. And I'm using some very random threads that I had. It's a mixture of, I think the blues that I picked are some silks, using my Victorian motto, whatever I got, I'm using. So this is what I've gotten done between retreat and since then. The stitch along started February 23rd, I believe. And that's what I've gotten done. Kind of outlined my green and going back and doing the second color. Look at that tiny little house. It's really pretty. This is 40 count. And this is just a random piece of fabric that I had in my stash. It's called, it was like it's an Oops is what it is. Zweigert, I think. Anyway, it's 40 count. I wanted them kind of small. I had played around with the idea of doing them over one on something. And then I thought, well, that's just dumb. That was a stupid idea. I still haven't tried anything over one yet, big or anything. But this is fine. This is 40 count, and so it's going to be nice and compact, and it's going to be really pretty. So I don't know what color this is, but it was just a random piece in my stash. I love stash. Using my stash. Can't have too much stuff in your stash for that very reason. I try hard to, and I don't really have a favorite stitch count at all. I basically will stitch on whatever color fits the project and what size I want it to be. If I look and, it's a huge project, well, I'm going to go down to a smaller count so it's not so big. If it's just regular, I'll stitch it on 28 or 32. If it's got beads, 28, 32, obviously. But I don't care what size fabric I use. It just has to fit my end game, I guess. Does that make sense? And whatever color I have available and can get to. I always like to go through my stuff and find some projects that I might want to do soon-ish when I go to retreats, because Katrina always has a great selection of Leslie's Under the Sea fabrics. And I like to pick stuff out, plan ahead. This Orange Beach, Leslie always comes over and brings a ton of her fabric with her. And so I knew that I wanted to go through my stuff and see, okay, what do I really want to do next? What do I need fabric for? And pick some out. I took several things and picked 2 pieces of fabric to work on those. I want to do 3 of the Norah Corbett dragonflies all in a row. I've got emerald dragonfly. I made my working copies, but I didn't make a copy of the picture. I've got silver dragonfly. Jennifer had this and she let me borrow that. And then I also found, somebody had done these and posted it on Facebook somewhere, and I'm stealing the idea. I have no idea who it was, so I'm stealing your idea. I'm sorry. This was one that was a freebie chart for the 2018 Australian Mirabilia retreat hosted by Linens and Threads, and it's free on their website. I don't have a color picture of that, but that's what it looks like. I don't even know what color it is. I can't remember, but it's going to be gorgeous, and I want to do those all lined up, as if it were like, people who have butterfly collections or bug collections and they pin them on a board, something to that effect. I got this piece of fabric of Properly Primitive. It's 32 count. So I got this piece of Properly Primitive. It's 32 count by Under the Sea fabric. It's kind of parchment-y color, kind of old looking. I think this will be really pretty. Jennifer, help me pick it out. Isn't that gorgeous? I have to remeasure and make sure it's going to fit. I think it'll be fine. But that'll be a cool project I want to do. And then Buckeye Stitcher has been stitching 'Twas the Night by Sue Hillis Designs, and I've had this in my stash forever and been wanting to stitch it and just haven't started it. It didn't make the cut for a Mania start because I don't think I had any fabric that I liked for it. So seeing Buckeye Stitcher stitch this thing made me really want to get it going. So I took this with me to find fabric. I know I want it sparkly. It's got to be an opalescent. And I didn't start this at the retreat. I did find some fabric. I'll show you. I didn't start it at the retreat because I didn't bring all of my threads. All I brought was my DMC box. And I wanted to go through my stash and find real pretty greens and reds from the Victorian Motto stuff because I know her stuff is gorgeous for Christmassy. So I found this. It's called Autumn by Under the Sea Fabrics. It's a 36 count opalescent linen. It's It's sparkly. You can kind of see it. Let me turn this light off and see if that picks it up better. Nah, the lighting's kind of bad today. It's a bright sunny day. I've got a window open, but it's funky. Anyway, it's kind of a peachy pinky kind of undertone a little bit. You can't see that. Doesn't matter. That'll be gorgeous on there. And then I also took my Norah Corbett Holly Pixie and wanted to find some fabric for her. And I bought this whole half yard and I'm going to put her on that. Of course, she needs to be sparkly too. Can't have too much sparkle. So that's going to be pretty pretty. I'm excited about that. I don't know when I'll start these, but they're ready if I need them. At the beginning of the year, the last video I did, I kind of talked about, well, I really didn't talk about plans. I don't make plans. That's the thing. Everybody was talking in January about their New Year plans and what they're going to do this year, and I had everything all laid out, and I'm like, I don't know. I need to stitch on things I've already started, but that didn't stop me from starting 2 new things, did it? Nope. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I know what I'm not going to do. Not doing Mania this year. That was insane. Absolutely insane. Again, I am glad I did it. Just the simple fact of starting things, getting all my things together. Maybe I'll do a kitting Mania, but not actually start stuff, because I did like the idea of making sure my fabric was there and fit what I wanted and get it cut and serged and all that kind of stuff. So I did enjoy that part of it, but I do not like the idea of all those starts hanging over my head. It kind of makes me feel like I shouldn't start anything else. Kind of. Didn't stop me, but, you know, I feel a little guilty. Like, I really should work on those. Those things just don't call to me at the moment, but I'll get to them eventually. Okay, some other haul that we got in the goodie bag at Orange Beach. Beauty and the Beach. Cute little flamingo beach pattern by Barefoot Needle Art. That's super cute. I think I'm probably going to do that because it's cute. Love that. And from Raise the Roof Designs, some flip-flops. Just a bunch of cute summery patterns from Raise the Roof. Cute stuff. Katrina made these awesome waxers, beeswax waxers. Mine's a little starfish. She had mermaids, mermaid tails and heads, and they were super cute. She made all those. I got my Victorian Motto threads this last time. Still doing that Thread of the Month Club. These aren't near as bright as that's showing up. They're kind of more muted. This one's got some pretty variegation. It's not that tealy. It's definitely more muted than that. But they're still pretty. Pretty, pretty. Got my color and cotton fabric. This is a 32 count Lugana Serenade. Just a pretty purple. Oh, that's pretty good. I've gotten mainly 28 and 32 counts. Lots 28 counts. I messaged her, sent her an email, and asked if I could change it up a little bit and get some 36 and 40 count stuff, just to kind of mix it up and get some higher counts. Linen this time, just in whatever color. Doesn't matter. I just want a good mix. And she said, sure. So next month I will have a different one. So I'm excited about that. All right, guys. Is that everything? I think so. Let's see if we can get Miss Grace in here. Hang on. I'm going to pause and go get her and see what we can do if we can control the beast. Hold on. Okay. I can't believe she hadn't been in here because she is so nosy. Pardon her while she scratches. And she's tiny. She is a Great Dane and she is 1 year old. I believe her birthday was February 14th. We've had her about 3 weeks now. My husband actually got her while I was at the Orange Beach retreat. Come here. Come here. I'm going to tilt y'all down a little bit so you can see her. Oh, and y'all going to see my mess. No way. Come over here so they can't see all that. This is Grace. She is so soft and she is so sweet, but she's so bad. So bad. She's into everything like a puppy would be. Oh, sorry, y'all. But she came to us. She was a breeder surrender, and we had been looking for a Dane, and we had contacted our local shelter about a couple that came through there. But by the time we got to them, they were already okay. They were already taken. So we contacted the Dane lady who does most of the Dane rescues and told her that we were interested and let us know when the next one came in. Well, she had contacted Mike about Grace. Her name used to be Willow a while back. And we said yes. It just did not work out. The lady didn't end up getting her at that time. They couldn't meet up, whatever. She's from about 2 hours, or an hour and a half, 2 hours north of us. Just never worked out. Finally did. She got her, called Mike about her and said, we've got this baby. Are you interested? And we said yes. The only thing about her, she's fairly healthy. The only thing she has is what's called megaesophagus. And what that is the muscles that control the movement of the food down the esophagus to the stomach don't work properly for whatever reason. They can be born with it or they can acquire it when they get older. And they told us that she's got kind of a mild case of it. And we're like, okay, that's fine. We'll get her to our vet and see what's going on. And our vet confirmed that. We've got her updated on her shots and she's all good. But the only thing we have to do is feed her in an upright position to let gravity kind of help get it down, get that food down. So we have to feed her upright and then we have to sit with her for about 10 minutes. It can be anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes. Different dogs are different. Ours seems to do fine with just about 10 minutes. So we sit her upright and let gravity kind of help get that food down and she's fine. Otherwise, they regurgitate the food and it never gets absorbed by the body. So we think that's what kind of happened to her. She's a year old and she is super tiny for a Great Dane. Super tiny. She was only 59 pounds when we got her weighed the first time. And I weighed her today and she's 63 pounds. So we've gained 4 pounds in 3 weeks, which is good. We're pleased with that. 3 pounds this past week actually is what we've gained. And so we're really pleased with that. We have to feed her special, but that's okay. We just think she wasn't fed properly and really managed properly, so kind of stunted her growth a little bit. But otherwise, she's healthy. She's heartworm negative. Hadn't been fixed yet. We're gonna get her spayed. Let her get a little bit of weight on her and kind of used to us. She didn't do great at the vet for the first time last week, but it's all new to her. So we're gonna start training her and getting her going. We went to the dog park for the first time today and she had a blast. So we'll do that more often and get some of that energy out of her. She's crazy dog. Oh my goodness. But she's a total love bug. She cuddles and she's super sweet. So y'all check out my Instagram if you want to see more of Grace, Sam and Grace. All right, guys, that's it. That's all I have. That's the only life update I have. That's all I've been doing is stitching and taking care of a puppy and trying to keep my house in order. And it is not working. I am failing miserably. She's winning that battle terribly. But that's it. Market. We got market coming up next week. This next week. We are leaving Thursday. Headed to market. I am going with Jennifer from Jen's Stitching Niche. She's on Etsy. She has an amazing store. We are going up there. It's just going to be us two this year. Bridget can't go. She's got a Boy Scout event she's got to attend. And it's just going to be me and Jennifer. So It's going to be crazy, but we can do it. We're going to get everything. She's already got some pre-orders with the designers. We'll just pick those up. That makes it easy. And we're just going to buy all the things. And I know that she works really hard about getting those listed right away. And we'll do that again. They'll be up and ready for y'all to look at and peruse. I'll put a link to her store down below. And I think that's it. Y'all need to watch Katrina Boyd's Flosstube. She started on Flosstube recently, and her videos are fun. So check her out too. I'll put a link down to her. I forgot to mention that last week. Y'all watch her, and I think that's it this time, for real. Looking around, making sure I'm not forgetting anything. Nothing new and exciting. I'll put a link to my store down below too if you're interested in those needle minders. I had some other really cool needle minders that I listed a couple of weeks ago. So y'all check those out. Find me on Instagram, and I'll be back probably with a dual video with Jennifer. We'll do an aftermarket review and show you all the goodies that we got. But y'all keep an eye out for that. In the meantime, y'all have a great day. Happy stitching. See you later. Bye.